We are live. Are we live? Yes, we are live.
Already live.
We are
Okay.
live. We're
Okay,
just
that's-
like that. Boom,
Oh,
boom,
that
boom,
was
boom,
more
boom.
bullish than ever.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, next Earthians, or morning or evening, depending from where you are tuning in. This is our first anniversary for the NXTT token launch. And
It's
on
been a
this
year.
live, we're going to talk about plenty of things that happened in the previous year and plenty of things that are going to happen in the upcoming one. Okay, can you show me a picture, please, how the whole thing looks like? Because
Yeah,
this
there
is
you go.
actually the first live. Kronos, are we really live? Because I don't want to repeat this again.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
thank
can
you very
see
much.
us
That's
on
bullish.
YouTube.
Okay, so
New
this is
setup.
actually the first live where it's not David and me who put the material together, but the team. And they even created slides, visuals that you can follow the whole live through. So if we have our first visual, then actually I would jump right into the middle of it.
Yeah, go ahead. I just want to
Okay.
say before you do that,
Yeah, go ahead.
exactly a year ago, we were sitting in the office
Oh yeah,
live,
I remember that live. That was
having
bullish
lunch
one.
from
Yeah.
the takeaway box.
Oh my god,
We
how
were
many
eating
negative
spaghetti.
comments I got
We
on
were
that.
eating
Like I didn't
spaghetti. And,
respect the whole
we were
thing.
like,
I know.
look at the there's the team and there's everything. And then we reached the soft cap while we were live on
Yeah.
YouTube.
I remember my own father asked me like,
Yeah.
okay, that was nice, but it was planned, right? No, it wasn't.
I
planned.
wish it was.
Like that.
That
Yeah,
would
I
have
wish
been
it was.
genius. But
Yeah, we would be geniuses. But
that's
yeah,
one of
it
my
was just like,
favorite memories.
yeah, that's definitely one of the most bullish ones.
One of the first favorite memories.
Yeah, there are plenty of them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't want to hold you up. So
So let's jump right into the middle of it and see what we've been up to in the last 1 year and what was happening with Nexters. So, as you know, Nexters was another thing. We're gonna be repeating a few things that many of the OGs have already heard because the guys from our team asked us to also be open and communicate repeatedly to the new users, to the new Next Earthians, because there are plenty of them in the last 2 months, especially focused on December with the voucher campaign. We had around 6 to 10,000 new users in 3 months. I think it was 10,000, and
Yeah.
in December it was 6,000 new users or something like that, which is quite bullish compared to being in the worst midst of a bear market.
I mean, it's also it's not entirely surprising because we did a lot of trial and error. And,
that's for sure,
right?
And that's plenty of those.
And that's how you do with marketing. You start planning things, you start trialing things, and most of them won't work. But then finally, you found a couple things that actually do work. And what we know is that if you find things in marketing that work during a bear market, those will work 100-fold during a bull market, which is why it's golden for us that we started finding these opportunities. It took us some time, but this is what we've been talking about for
and that's
long.
not just about marketing, that's also about releasing of the different features that we've been
development,
the new launchpad, staking, etc., that we're going to be talking on later on in more detail. They are the typical things that had to be done, that had to be developed, and they are going to be probably a major part of harvesting in a bull market. Okay, so I have a few sentences just to say about like how we started off with Nexters, how the whole thing started. So it was about 2 years ago when the whole idea came, and then we just wanted to do an Earth-based metaverse because that was then the hype there at that time. And when we started discovering the possibilities of blockchain, we soon realized that, we can implement some charity into this. We realized that everybody goes towards this this Ready Player One type of VR world, and we soon realized that we want to go more into a realistic, real life environment with business related metaverse objectives. But obviously, we were talking about it. We had our first. Um, White paper, we had our visions and ideas, but we didn't exactly know how we're going to be executing these during the times and during the road. And I think the like the map launch was on the 17th of August.
Yeah.
And 2021.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to be remembering the years now. So
Oh,
that
it's
says,
years
like,
again.
we're kind of progressing.
Thank God we have like.
Oh yeah, we have
we have a
map.
calendar in front
we have
of
a
us.
calendar in front of us.
And in front of you as well, I think.
Oh yeah, Kronos in front of everyone. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
perfect.
Oh, then I can actually use this as a hint for myself. But
Mhm.
yeah, there is the first date. The Nexters platform was launched on the 17th of August. And although we have some technical milestones integrated here, like for instance, the 17th of December, where we migrated over to Polygon. I remember we had 265,000 NFTs.
And that was done in the
had
matter
to
of
be,
days.
yeah, that had to be migrated
that
over
was
from
pretty
Binance Smart
crazy.
Chain. That was more than crazy. Like today, we probably wouldn't start into something like that.
It's not just that, but
that was risky.
But to this day, I have been astonished as to not screwing the whole thing up, because
that's for sure.
there were so many things, like migrating hundreds of thousands of NFTs over from one chain to another. There are at least a million things that can go tits up.
That's for sure.
And none of them did. It was amazing.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
Some extra things I would like to talk about. For instance, the release of the marketplace. I think it was 24th of September. It's not on the calendar, but I remember something like that.
24th of September, and it was not on the.
And then I remember that we also launched the land art module. It was around second half of October or something like that. And yeah, we slowly started building the whole ecosystem, but it was more just like, as you say, trial and error. We went forward and started discovering what the market actually wants from us.
Yeah.
And with the arrival of David,
even.
And it's not in the calendar, but the arrival of David, it was one of the major milestones, although it would be hard to set a date for that one. But
September 4th, 3 p.m.
All right.
That was our first meeting.
Respect for that one. Okay.
I'm good with numbers. Sorry.
And I remember that around the launch of the token, about the launch of NXTT, which obviously was a year ago.
Yeah.
On the 27th of last January, is when actually I remember you came up with the idea of PaaS, platform as a service.
Yeah.
And I think that was the thing that got us closer operatively, like how we can execute this type of business related metaverse. And that was, I think, one of the key turning points.
That was one of the first things we started to work on right after the NXTT launch. I think I remember, like, first week of February when we started talking about this, talking about how to turn the whole platform into a PaaS provider, and that would kind of open everything up. And then within a couple of weeks, we actually started working out how that can be possible. And it was an incredibly tough nut to crack.
That's for sure.
Right? And even then, in February, in those early talks, we were like, you know that this is going to take like months. Like, if we release it this year, we're going to be lucky. Right?
And that was in the middle of a bull market.
A
little bit different than how things turned out. And actually, another thing I wanted to add is one of my favorite memories, if we go down this memory lane, that we actually rented a theater where we had our company presentation for 2021 Christmas. And I remember we presented the whole concept of where we're going, what Nexters is, to the team, actually, because everybody needed to know it.
And I wasn't in that room because they didn't let me into the
because of
building
the
with my
dogs.
dog.
Yeah, too bad, too bad. And I remember that we also had 2-day-long meeting with the Scrum Master team on what exactly is going to be implemented, how the whole project is going to go on from there onwards. And I remember we had the Christmas break, New Year's, and when we came back, first day, Gabor says, meeting, everybody come to the big meeting room, and whatever.
I figured everything out during Christmas.
I figured everything out during Christmas. We'll launch the token
in 3 weeks.
And I remember then that I had plenty of explanations on why I wanted to do that. And looking back, obviously the fastest we were able to launch, the better it was, because you were able to see already during our token launch last year. I mean, I remember that the maximum of Medic was $2.9 or something like that, and the day we launched it was 1.633.
Yeah,
so
and it was
there
going
was already
down.
almost basically a halving in it.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. It fell 50% from its highs by the time we launched.
The first harbinger of the bear market started right around when we were launching NXTT.
Yep.
That's for sure. That's for sure. You could actually see that on the Matic chart.
And another thing that's for sure is that we are not lucky with these things usually.
Yeah, I mean, who is?
Yeah, of course. Okay, then we went forward. We had our centralized exchange listing on the 11th of April. That was around when we had our all-time high spike.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you look at a chart now, but that's true for every single crypto chart you can and token chart you can look at right now. It was a high. It's down like hell.
Everything is
down like hell in the market.
I actually saw like a report that says the fatality rate over this bear market for different coins is right now sitting at 94%.
94% of the coins are dead, or on average they are down 94%.
No, they're dead.
They are dead.
As
okay,
in,
that's
as in,
pretty bearish for the crypto market,
gone.
but
yeah,
that's bullish for the survivors, because that means that we are in that 6%.
Yes,
and we do feel the turnaround. Not just in the market, obviously we can still go lower. Who knows what's going to happen with the economy, etc., etc. But one thing we know is that we did have this big hype at the beginning, which was obviously a good feeling. We learned a lot from that. So now we know how a bull market is operating. So by the time the next bull market comes, we will be ready and we know what to be cautious about, especially scammers and stuff like that. But yeah, also setting the narrative and also not over hyping the whole thing and having a stable background, I think, is one of the key things that we will have to focus on. And honestly, looking at the past few months, even though FTX went down and we had that's basically a black swan event, we can call it.
There were multiple black swan events last year, and that usually never happens.
And in the last 2 to 3 months, I'm quite confident that we have found those levels which are good, which are stable. I see that the numbers are working out nicely in terms of NXTT, but we don't want to go right into what we are happy with, where we expect it to be, because this is not about speculation. It's just about oh, okay, because of the sound. Yeah, some technical add-on. Now we are full of these
things.
Yeah, these things. Okay. They're invading like space invaders. Okay. Around that time, we suppressed 500,000 land NFTs. That's just simply amazing.
Especially if you think about how in December we migrated about half of this amount over to Polygon. So within the first 3.5 months of 2022, we doubled the number of NFTs minted on the platform, which is crazy, because by the time we were in April, the bear market started gaining pretty good traction already.
Yeah, well, actually, it was like almost more than 1.5 into the Ukraine-Russia war.
Yeah,
so that's we were still going very good there. But one of my favorite ones is the Sea Turtles campaign that was in late April last year. Then some developments coming in wallet authentication in August, fiat purchase for land NFTs.
Yeah,
Then,
that was a big one.
Then the staking protocol launched. Another one, which is not here, but around I think a month before staking protocol was launched, was the first IDO with Rising Star. Obviously, the bear market, we also experienced that you don't do IDOs in bear market.
Yeah,
We learned that one too. But still, what I can sneak peek to the guys is that the Rising Star team is working in the back scene. They don't really communicate too much because they are developing and it's just not like talking at all. Maybe we're gonna tell them to be a little bit better on that part, but that's actually not affecting the long-term stuff. One thing we can hint is that they are developing something with AI.
There we
Okay,
go.
that's all I hinted.
There we go.
And I'm not gonna say anything more with that topic today. All right. By 3 days after the staking protocol launched, we reached 500 million, which is amazing, which is more than 500 million NXTT staked. Then 30th of November, we launched the Next Earth OS, and the Metaverse Land gift cards was introduced. So those were kind of speeding up in the last 2 to 3 months. David's going to talk a lot more about what's going on with the OS.
Yeah.
And then we also added a marketplace 2.0
revamp.
Revamp,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you very much for that. So, yeah, I think I'm going to let it go to you because
Okay.
I would be talking too much into
Sure.
this.
Okay, let's move on to the next visual thing, please. Like ding, and then it does it. So I want to do a quick, like a bit more in-depth recap of the last 3 months before we move on to the future. Because in the last 3 months, we really started to switch into a higher gear, and we started building what probably can be considered a new growth phase for the company. If you've been listening to what Gabor just said, we started releasing major product updates one by one in a more frequent basis. And the marketplace update, the Next Earth OS, which was just one element of Next Earth OS, and the rest is coming in the coming weeks. And these major updates were also paired with campaigns to increase our user base. And those campaigns were incredibly fruitful. Like what you said, we've onboarded 10,000 new users in just 3 months in the middle of the bear market.
In CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, CryptoRank, which is kind of
the CoinMarketCap campaign was amazing. Like we had how many 3,000 gift cards that were snatched away in
6 minutes.
6 minutes. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to get one. and I couldn't. So it's
slow, David.
It's crazy. But the thing that I'm most interested about and the thing that I'm most excited about is with the Next Earth OS, which I'm going to talk about in more detail. We've also started rounding up our accelerator program, our ambassador program. You started you started getting access to our dev portal, and in the next couple of months, we are going to just go ahead and really start putting more emphasis on both the accelerator and the ambassador programs. We've been interviewing, I think, more than 100 people who applied to the ambassador program. And first of all, I want to thank all of you for taking the time and applying and coming to talk to our team. And we've met some incredible people who want to join the Next Earth community as Next Earth ambassadors. And we have started evaluating all the applications and selecting those people that we believe we can, in this current iteration, we can now help the most. Because this is the beginning of the ambassador program. And we're planning to kind of open this up in the future and make it permissionless even. But right now, we are going to start with a small batch of people. They're going to get a full training on how to become a Next Earth ambassador, how to become successful as a Next Earth ambassador. If you remember, I spent about 2 weeks actually in this very studio recording different training materials for new Next Earth ambassadors. And those materials are coming out in the next couple of weeks. So let's see what else we have here. Yeah, and then also the accelerator program. We are finalizing the structure and the format of that, and then the ambassadors will be able to start sending startups into the accelerator program. It's all part of one big system, cogs in the machine. And I think now these next 2 quarters are going to be the time when you start to finally see the big picture, when everything starts to be very much connected with the ambassador programs, with the accelerator, with the Next Earth OS, with all the marketing campaign and land ownership. Everything is really nicely coming together. So let's move on to the next picture, and let's talk about what will it look like when the picture starts to come together. So I'm just going to also take a sneak peek. Yeah.
So we move to the roadmap.
We move to the roadmap.
Bullish.
So here we are, the roadmap for 2023 for Next Earth in 4 quarters. The first quarter is going to be mainly focusing on preparing Next Earth OS to the arrival of thousands of developers. We've been talking to a lot of different developer communities that are very eager to start using Neos. And I'm talking about access to thousands of developers eager to come to Neos. This is the biz dev work we've been doing in the background. And in this quarter, we're finalizing the development of Neos. We're also finalizing the pricing structure and the business model for Neos. We're going to upgrade the developer portal. So when you, as a developer, go on the dev portal, you can literally click a button, generate your own layer, and then start developing in your own language, just as promised. Start minting your own dynamic NFTs, just as promised. There's also going to be something else that we're going to release, and that is going to be the first work to earn feature of Next Earth, which is going to be the land sale work to earn feature. If you want, you can tell something about it, but otherwise, I'm just going to move
let's
on.
carry on,
Yeah,
because
there's
I
a
see
lot
that the
to talk
timing
about.
is not really fitted on my first 15 minutes of talk. So
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to catch up with the.
so we can have a Q&A at the end, because I'm
Yes.
pretty sure that after the roadmap,
I'm pretty sure
especially
that
with
there
the
are gonna
two
be- Yeah.
hardly readable ones,
The
we're gonna get
hardly
some
readable.
questions.
Anyway, so in the meantime, as these new development upgrades are coming out, we're also going to launch the Next Earth Academy, first with the curriculum for the Next Earth ambassadors, the ambassador program pilot with the chosen, I think it's about 20-ish people. We're going to launch that program. So if you applied, expect responses and starting to have a proper conversation with us in the next couple of weeks. Now, that's the kind of foundation work. Following that, in the second quarter, we're preparing a couple of very interesting things. First of all, we're going to introduce something new, which is something we've already teased a bit in the past, but also have been postponed a bit because of its complexity, and that is resources. Originally, we wanted to introduce resources as part of the Neos update or Neos launch. But then we realized that Neos allows us to actually invite resources in a way that gives you, the community, full control over resources on Next Earth. How does that work? That works in a way that we call DAO generator, which means that every single resource in the Next Earth metaverse will be managed by its own DAO. And in order for that to be working, we first need to create a DAO generator. So a group of users can come together, select a resource, and go through a process where you can decide where those resources are mineable, where those resources can be found. You can deploy those resources by deploying NXTT into that land on your own layer. And then you, as a DAO, can manage those resources. You can manage how frequently you want to mine those out, how frequently you want to pay those out to different applications. And then when an application comes, let's say a game developer comes and says, hey, I want to use gold in my video game, they're not just going to code gold into their game. They want to use your gold that you put in your land. So they will need to buy it from you. And we have a complete economic structure that allows all the developers to get access to all those resources for free, but you still get paid for it as the community. This means that we are actually expecting that our landowners will probably end up generating dozens, if not hundreds of DAOs that are managing different aspects and different resources on Next Earth. And there is not going to be a single limiting threshold as to what kind of resources you can generate in the metaverse. You are truly going to be building.
Does that
the
mean
metaverse.
that we basically going to have a database
Yeah,
built on dynamic NFTs that are
Yeah.
the lands, which contain real life relevant resources,
correct.
and anything can be built on these? For
Correct.
instance, a global tycoon game.
Yeah, actually,
Or-
you can build multiple tycoon games that use the same shared resource. So if you win in one tycoon game, you can bring your resources over to the other tycoon game.
So a little bit of interoperability.
It's like Factorio on steroids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's all going to be community managed. So it's going to be the first part when we come out and say, we promise you decentralization. This is your thing to do. This is not ours. The profits are yours. The work is yours. The assets are yours. We just give you the tools.
I love this very much because if you're an OG and you remember that the first white paper had 4 phases, basically, when we started out with the original vision, phase 2 was resources.
Yeah.
And because of our business related and business structured development of Nexters Neos itself, it kind of got out of focus. But because of dynamic NFTs and because
It
of
brings it
what
back to
can be
focus.
done with Neos, it was basically a solved thing technically. And because of DAOs, we realized that these resources won't have to be created or generated by us or controlled by us, but but we have a system that we do for any type of business globally that can implement any part of this technology or this ecosystem, while resources can be simply set on these right away.
Yeah.
With DAO management.
Yeah.
Which is like I think that's like super crazy that we had an original white paper.
We went back
phase
to it.
and that phase can be done, executed just like this with the people. I think that is something that is truly marvelous, and I think that should be written down at one point. The whole development of this went and what turns we had inside of this, because that's something that can be expected
that's the
for many
that's the
other
important
topics
thing.
to
That's
come.
the important thing that I remember when we were all doing these lives and doing these AMAs on Discord, and people were like, what happened to the original vision? And now here we are announcing moving to the next phase of what we originally published as phases of development for the Next Earth in the original white paper. We're still on the same track. It's just an incredibly complex journey, and that's it. And before we move on, because there are a lot more things to say, I saw one comment on YouTube about mentioning dynamic NFTs, and I wanted to clear this up, that we're not mentioning dynamic NFT development because dynamic NFT development is done. As layers are going to be introduced through Next Earth OS applications, you will see that all your NFTs are dynamic NFTs, but it's generated in a way that does not require any retroactive action from our end, which means that you cannot see any mention of dynamic NFTs because it's a foundational development that's been done, and now everything else builds on it to make it truly dynamic. like resources. Now, we're going to see in Q2 these additional layers, these NEOS powered apps that are going to be using data from Next Earth land, from resources, etc. And also we're going to add in Q2 the long-awaited split and merge function.
Well, at least it's in Q2 roadmap. That's the fun part of the story, because obviously the split and merge function, I think, would be an essential fundamental part of how you can manage your NFTs, especially when we are talking about dynamic NFTs from that on. And but you have to see that every single time where we had the product meeting, something just kind of got before it because it was more important. May it be a launchpad project, may it be staking, may it be fiat payment, or any of these. Thanks. And honestly, I would love to have it, but if it's not gonna happen in Q2, then that's for sure that we have to come to a live and explain what was that development.
What was that thing that made it push? Yeah.
Split and merge function again.
You do it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do it. Yeah. Maybe it's just gonna be a short TikTok video, Gabor style, 7.5 minutes.
Thank God TikTok has a 3-minute maximum length for
oh
their
my
videos.
Oh my God, the noob.
Anyway, so that's for the development of Q2, but also there are going to be a couple of activities in Q2. We're going to start promoting Next Earth OS. We're going to start announcing and finalizing all the different collaborations that we've been working on in the background. I mean, you can talk about it if you want. I'm going to leave it to you.
What I would just say about these, that basically we aren't just talking with companies. Obviously, at last year's lives, when we were usually talking on what's happening, we discussed direct names, etc., etc. All of these we are still in touch with, but obviously outside Web2, especially Web2 partners, are not too keen on entering the metaverse.
Not to mention that there is a bear market in Web2 right now.
Like, yeah, there is a bear market everywhere. I mean, we see huge companies.
Big tech companies, the 5 big tech companies laid off about 50,000 people in the last 3 months.
So bearish.
Talk about bear market.
Yeah, talk about bear market. So, yeah, different type of collaborations, still discussing in the background. One thing is for sure that we are getting ready for the full-scale NEOS implementation, because that's going to be where they're going to be able to do operative things, not just discussing, not just the consultancy part. Obviously, these partners are not just partners who are building on NEOS. These are partners who we do strategic partnerships with, integrations, other Web3 companies, consultancy companies. I think we talked about PricewaterhouseCoopers last time, right? Yeah, we mentioned them. Obviously, all of these companies are there. We are discussing, but we don't really feel the need to announce these, because it's just simply talk. When we're gonna have the NEOS up and running, the full-scale NEOS, then these are going to be open, because from there on, there is no real point in just leveraging these in the background, because these are going to come to the front, to the storefront, and everybody's will be able to see, because it's going to be implemented and used.
Okay, so moving on from collaborations, we're also expecting the first startups coming into the accelerator program in the second quarter of this year. And also, we're going to start scaling up the ambassador program to a global launch, hoping to scale from that initial 20-ish people to about 100 people that we have in our ambassador program. With that, we're also going to start organizing Next Earth Web3 meetups all around the world, which is where
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, as we said, business development is going to be decentralized through ambassadors. Once we have the ambassadors, the next step is to start organizing those events. And crypto is multi-local. You have loads and loads of small local communities, and we're going to tap into each and every one of them. So we're going to start organizing these events from LA to Bangkok, really. and I think we're probably going to be traveling like a lot.
Yeah, I really want to. Although next to two kids, I don't know how I can.
I think I will
arrange
be
that,
traveling a lot.
but yeah, well, if you're going, I'm going too. But
I don't have kids, so
somebody is gonna say that we have to travel with different planes if anything happens. You know.
I mean
you know the
that's
drill.
not a stupid idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, there is also a blurred thing. I don't know if you want me to skip over that or
Yeah, skip over. Let the guys ask if they
Mhm.
want to, but obviously my answer is gonna be that
Blurred.
it's blurred on purpose. And
can we like beep answers out live? We're like,
no, I'm not risking that one. I'm not risking that one.
okay,
But yes, that's something I would be able to talk for a few days continuously, which we are working on in the background. And no, I'm not gonna say anything. Continue.
okay, I'm gonna continue. I'm
yeah.
gonna move
Go ahead,
on.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
move on to
Yeah.
Q3 because in Q3,
Teasing is not nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
it took us some time to learn that, but
The blurred one, if I want to read it, you know how that would be the sound of it. Okay. And from that on, if anybody solves it, I think the Moonpuck can fly to them.
nice. Okay, so Q3, we're going to have multiple third-party NEOS applications and layers. Now, some of them are going to be coming out of the accelerator program. Some of them are going to be mid-sized companies that come through our consulting partnership. And some will be probably even large companies that come through strategic partnerships. Because we're going to have these, what we're going to do is we're going to start pushing more on the global communication campaign. And we're going to start a global offensive in Q3 on spreading the word about Next Earth, because we now have the foundations, now have the required business development. And as we said, we're going to move on from the original sort of organized local meetups part. In Q3, we're going to go all into doing a global roadshow, introducing NEOS to everybody in tech all over the planet. Now, once that's done, we're going to move into Q4. By that time, if I'm right, we're probably going to have at least a couple dozen, if not 100 different applications running on NEOS. And that's when we're going to launch the NEOS App Store. So you can log into the App Store, check all the apps that are available that are going to lead you outside of Next Earth, where you can use their services. However, you will see if those apps are using any one of your lands, which make you eligible for royalty payments, or if any of those apps are using lands that you have, which means that you can get some additional benefits when you are using their services. It's going to make total sense when you start using them. And also by Q4, 2 more quarters have passed since we will have announced the resources part. So we can imagine that by Christmas, we're going to have a complex resources economy. Some of the applications built on NEOS will be already using these resources, but it will give us incredible ammunition for 2024
sure.
to go out and
That's
start
for sure.
onboarding companies saying, you have a community managed decentralized database of geodata, basically, that you can use for free. All you need to do is to start paying royalties when you're making money off of it.
Well, we had so brutal brainstorms on how these can be monetized and used, and for networking, for business building, for everything.
Yeah, and
just crazy.
Yoni just said Next Earth will be like a hub for metaverses, and yes, that is the whole point. That Next Earth is the operating system for the metaverse, which is why we opted to go into the back end instead of going to the front end, messing with VR and AR and 3D, that all of these technical and economic solutions, every single one of the metaverse companies need to figure that out in Web 2, in Web 3. So by building that, we can onboard every single one of them to Next Earth. If you think of a metaverse company, think of one now. This roadmap, once we complete it, will give them an undeniable benefit and value proposition to come over and partner with Next Earth. Everyone. Yes, even those ones.
That's bullish. And that's where I like to repeat that the metaverse, you shouldn't imagine it as a Ready Player One type of VR world.
Ready Player None.
That's only the visualization of the metaverse.
Yeah.
It's not the metaverse. The metaverse, it's an economic system, right? It's a mathematically built economy that is operating in Web3. That is the metaverse, not the VR part. It's just an added
The front
value.
bumper is not the car.
Thank you. I think that closed down the first part of this live. And what I see is that we have a slogan game. I don't know if we want to leave that to the end or not. And we can also do some Q&A.
Yeah, I'm gonna just dive into the questions.
Yeah, let's go into the Q&A part.
What is Gabor and David's main daily job?
Okay, our main daily job is basically creating, talking, brainstorming about the vision based on the product side, based on our already existing developments and our roadmap, and trying to fine-tune it in a way that it's high-level business strategically the best for the Nextverse ecosystem, which means that how it can be structured in a way that it will be able to onboard as many businesses and as many users and generate as many traffic as possible, still aiming to reach the goal where we see a truly decentralized future where everybody is their own owner of their own avatars, of their own Web3 and their own digital life. So it's basically what we call a fair digital life. And we want to reach that. And I think we have a tool set for that. And with David, okay, some in-depth stuff on what's going on in the office. We used to be until the end of December in one big open office. Which you actually already saw once in one of the lives last year. And it just got communication easier. Like we went on, it was really agile, flexible, everybody knew everything. But from January, we basically went to a different office, so we're not disturbing the guys who are working with every.
Let me clarify, the room next to the office, so it's not like
another room. Okay, if you speak loudly enough, you can hear the other side. So.
Yeah, sometimes we knock over to each other through the walls,
and that's where we basically work with David on the previous things I just said. But we definitely have many parallel things going on.
Some of them are blurred.
My favorite ones are blurred always. I hate that actually, but let's carry on.
Next question: how does the dynamic NFT work?
That's your question.
Give me a couple more weeks until we update the dev portal, and you will have a full documentation on how you as a developer can make the best use out of dynamic NFTs.
Some details, please. I'm also anxious to hear. Yes, please.
Glass is always empty. I really tried. Okay. All right. Okay. So the problem with NFTs is that NFTs have metadata that contain different properties. Let's say, here's this glass. This glass contains this much water in it. If I turn this into an NFT, I will have
Sorry, I don't know how many times I have heard this explanation. But
I know.
Yeah, go ahead.
But it's a good example.
It's good. It's good. It's easy to understand.
So if I mint an NFT that has this amount of water in it, it's going to be a static piece of information, which means that an NFT about this glass will always contain this amount of water in it. I cannot drink from it. I cannot pour more water in it. This is it. I cannot use the glass to drink water out of it because it's static. So what this is where dynamic NFTs come into play. In the market, when you currently start looking around, you will start seeing companies that claim they do have dynamic NFTs. But if you look under the hood, what you will find is that they actually have static NFTs that says, here is a glass. it can contain water. And then it connects to a Web2 application, which is centralized, where you can actually save in a SQL database whether or not this specific NFT has water in it or not, which means that I have the glass, but a third-party company can tell me if I have water in it so I can drink it or not.
And that's how Chainlink
that's how Chainlink works. That's how everybody else works. So that's the problem, because that means that the fact that I drank from it 500 times is not stored on chain. It's not part of the NFT itself. It's part of that one specific company's information, which means that it's part of that company's value, not the NFT's value. So what we did is that we built a piece of technology where these property changes are stored on the NFT. We can truly create an NFT of a glass where you can say, this is the amount of water that's in it, and I can drink from it, and I actually will.
Nobody has done this actually, and if anybody sees that is truly on-chain data that is stored, then we would be interested if anybody finds such a company, because we couldn't.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This in tech terms, this means that you can CRUD, create, read, update, delete different properties of the NFT, and all these changes are stored on chain in a very economic and reliable way. Now, this has never been done before, and because we are doing this means that Web2 companies that want to move over to Web3 to get access to the security and economic benefits of Web3 and NFT technology, they can now do so, because they can move over parts of their databases to the blockchain. Without dynamic NFTs, they cannot do that. This is one of the things that we learned through research, is that they cannot move over. They cannot move over to Web3. It's just, it's one of the things is that they have no fucking clue how to do it, because when they look at the technology, they're like, this is no use for me. I cannot change these properties. Like, how do I update a loyalty account? How do I update a hotel guest's account saying they're not in my hotel anymore? Like, I cannot do that. If a hotel would move over their database of guests to Web3 and everybody would get an NFT right now, right? That would mean that most of the technologies that would make sense to do without like major overhauls and tokenization and everything, that means that those guests could never leave the hotel. And that's how fucked up the whole thing is.
I think that explanation perfectly shows how essential dynamic NFTs are for NEOS, for onboarding Web2 companies.
Yeah.
And this is actually the reason why, if you have read about dynamic NFTs, the word on the market is that the next bull run is probably going to be introduced because of NFTs. Static NFTs are headed over and becoming dynamic NFTs, because that's just basically going to be accelerating, catalyzing the usability of the NFT technology, which is by itself is cool. We have seen plenty of times how it can supercharge the market. So I think based on this explanation, you can somehow get the feeling on why many think that this is going to be the next big thing in Web3.
Yeah. Okay. And also because we truly believe that this is the big thing that was missing from the market. Once the full NEOS update is out before the end of this quarter, what's going to happen is that most of our PR activities and comms activities will be focusing on NEOS, and we'll be focusing on dynamic NFTs, because that's a pretty easily marketable innovation that not just Web3 and crypto companies and media outlets understand, but that is actually something that we can bring over to traditional Web2 media outlets.
Yep. Get it to as many people and businesses as possible.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, while you're looking for the questions, we have the slogan game. Game of slogan. So
slogans run.
Ben or Kronos? How you want to be called in lives? Doesn't matter.
Not that Ben.
Oh,
the good Ben.
Okay, so you're gonna be Kronos good Ben.
Kronos good Ben.
Kronos good Ben.
That actually sounds like a post-apocalyptic fantasy
Kronos.
character's name, like Kronos Goodben.
Yeah,
Guy with like a huge
Yeah.
fucking axe.
yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
From Warhammer 40,000,
Yeah.
next to the Emperor, he's there. Like he's always there. You don't see them. You don't even have this toy
From now-
soldier from him because
From
it's
now
simply
on,
not-
when somebody says something like silly in Discord, Kronos will just say, "This is heresy."
and bans.
And he bans.
Oh, big bans. Okay,
Ben Hammer.
let's climb out from this hole that we've jumped
Yes.
ourselves into.
Sorry.
Okay, so Kronos ban or whoever you want to be.
Just move on. Just move on
How
quickly.
you want
Just move
this
on quickly.
Slogan game to go down?
Have some fun.
Thank you for the advice, Ben. Okay. All right. Next time, probably Ben or Marky Batch or Peter from the team is gonna come to the live too, and then
Absolutely.
we can have
We-
this
we-
bigger
we-
team discussion.
And we need to
like that.
roast them too.
Yeah, of course. That's why Ben is always good at his year. Like every time we can reach out to him, when we kind of forget what we want to say and stuff like that. All right, so let's see the slogans. Next Earth, our name is our mission. That's pretty bullish. I don't know what the other's gonna be, but that's already my favorite.
I mean,
So-
give me any company name, and I will say our name is our
I'm
mission.
gonna make a green background for that.
Okay.
Okay, I like that.
It's a
No,
meh.
no
from me.
no matter what comes after this, that's in.
It's a meh from me, actually.
What?
A meh.
Really?
Yeah,
Too bad I made the decisions.
I know.
No, okay, then let's say because this is a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, and that's how we think of it. So I'm gonna go back to neutral with that, and let's carry on with the other one.
Interesting.
Next Earth, be anywhere, see
I never
everywhere.
changed your opinion this quickly. We should have more.
This is a public stunt.
We should.
I already decided that that's gonna be the winner. Okay. You want some water?
Yes, please.
Okay. Oh, this is a good stunt. Slippery and oh my god. Okay.
Just not.
That's what you would tell me at a consultancy on what not to do
What not
at
to do.
the last 5 minutes of a live. The probability of fucking up just got. All right. Okay. Back to this. Next words: be anywhere, see everywhere. Be anywhere because it's geolocation based. See everywhere. It's Web3 interoperable.
I like this.
Yeah, it's good. It
I
has
like
some
this.
decentralized effects in it. Some value proposition.
But see everywhere. It's not like a visual thing. It implies a visual thing.
No, it's like you're in the middle of the ocean and it's see everywhere.
See everywhere. Oh shit. We have never climbed out of
Okay, that was Lotzi from marketing
Yeah.
jumping into the live through Gabor.
Shit.
Okay, let's jump to the next one. Next Earth, the meta of Earth. No,
No,
is Lotzi.
That
That
is
is
Lotzi.
Lotzi.
Oh shit. No.
Oh, that is
No.
Lotzi.
This is so bad. It's actually good.
I think it's so bad. It's very good.
No, but
Yeah.
we cannot use it.
Really? Where are we gonna use these? So we know the weight of our decision. Okay. Okay, so if we decide there is no turning back for Marky Bachi, right?
People are asking to remove the roadmap screen so they can see us.
Oh no, really? They were looking at a roadmap. Too bad.
Yeah.
So it was all the way just our voice and those.
Boom.
Okay, all right.
Boom,
Maybe we
boom,
can
boom, boom,
fine
boom,
tune that
boom,
so
boom,
we
boom,
have like
boom,
a little
boom.
more, fluctuating impulses in a life. Okay.
Okay.
Next there's the metaverse of tomorrow. Simple as that. A new world, a next Earth. New world, a next Earth. That didn't really get to me. I like it, but it didn't really get to me. Earth just got decentralized.
I can see the potential in that, but not just there yet. It's just not there yet, right? It needs a twist.
Too early. Too early. Next there's the future of everything you've known, or the next generation of big businesses. The two kind of
next generation of
has
businesses.
the same length, right?
Yeah.
You kind of feed it as one.
Why big businesses? It could just be the next generation of businesses. Yeah.
Take that big out. We don't think that way.
Or
obviously,
next
big
Earth,
businesses are going to be in focus too, but
next Earth,
in terms of
the next
communication,
generation.
it's like it doesn't matter if you're big or small. I mean, it's the truly decentralized worlds we want to build. It depends on your past experiences, opportunities, possibilities. You never know where you came from. We want to create an ecosystem which is equally usable by anybody. And obviously we are welcoming big businesses because they are going to be generating bigger income to the platform, which can be redistributed through the stake reward protocol. So it's good, but let's not put it into communication. So I don't know whoever came up with this idea, but if you let us, we just got the big out. So this way, I think it's eligible for for top 3.
Okay.
Next is embrace your future.
Here is my problem. Tomorrow, I will launch a company. It will be named Glass. And I will be able to use almost any one of these slogans for that company without you even knowing what that company does.
But you just showed us that it's
dynamic NFT.
It's a dynamic NFT, bro. What's the problem with that?
But no, the world. That's my problem. Like, embrace your future, the future of everything you've known. It can be for any kind of business. Honestly, even a grocery store can say it and get away with it. That's my problem. It's not specific enough. It's not personal enough.
You don't want me to say what's in my head because it's one of the blurred parts. So yeah. I'm sorry, I'm kind of got deep into that, my own rabbit hole this time. Let's decide 3 and then see if there are any more questions and just leave the guys to.
Okay, my 3 would be next generation of businesses.
Yeah, that's good.
Be anywhere, see everywhere.
Wait, I'm not a machine. Okay, wait. Be everywhere. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm doing this manually, bro. I'm not GPT-3.
And and I don't know. I will leave the third one open.
Third one open. Okay, so
now I started getting some. Now I started getting some slogan recommendations for my new company, Glass.
or I love how diplomatic you are. So you let me in with my "Our name is our mission" slogan.
I'm learning.
Or the metaverse. Okay, that's coming. The metaverse. Yes, he's got it. Ben. Okay, it's not you deciding now. Ben. Office favorite. Okay, then we have just chosen to the lowest part of the podium, but still on the podium. Okay, so we have our 3 winners.
I need a week off.
You need a week off. Too bad that I'm gonna have a week off.
I know. I mean, I'm getting a week off from you.
Well, if that week off skiing with family, actually next week, if that week off is going to be like last year's week off, where I didn't even go out to the ski track because I had back-to-back meetings in the apartment. Oh my God, my wife was so angry. Damn, I cannot repeat that this time. Maybe 2 or 3 days maximum.
That time you only had one kid. Now you have two.
Yeah, don't tell me.
The stakes are
the
higher.
difference is
You
like
started
it's like
staking.
10x from my perspective, from the level of my involvement needed with two children than one.
I think you're playing.
I love them, by the way. I
You're
love my
playing
family.
this game
Oh my
by
God.
being over leveraged.
Okay, but yesterday actually a friend of mine, we had this come together because he had his fourth child born. The first three are triplets, and then accidentally a fourth one came. So
Accidentally.
it's destroyed. Okay.
Search and destroy.
Okay, David, let's jump into the end phase and kind of say a closing word.
Okay.
No,
So-
sorry, no questions really needed. I mean,
Yeah, that's.
probably the guys are gonna chew on a little bit on the resources,
I'm pretty sure.
but
Yeah.
I think you will be able to just write them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So this is kind of concludes our announcements for the roadmap for 2023. As you can see, we have a couple of interesting things in store, both with regards to the new developments, to the platform and to the ecosystem, and also with regards to marketing and business development activities. As you can see, most of our activities from the last year were about setting the foundation so we could involve you, the community, properly into these new marketing and business development activities, as well as making use of the new features that we're developing. So this is all coming together nicely in one cohesive, unified machine. And I'm personally, I think the most excited about, what I'm the most excited about is the ambassador program, because that's how we're going to get like a direct line to the community, and we can multiply the impact we can have on the world. We can multiply the impact we can have on local communities. So I cannot wait to start working with all of our new ambassadors. And those were my closing words.
And my closing word is just showing something to the camera. I don't know if it's gonna come through or not. I definitely have to show it in a way that it's.
Oh shit.
No. It's just a sneak peek, okay? It's Gabor's sneak peek.
Gabor is gabbering.
Okay, so I have to do it in a way that I'm not screwing this up now, because that would be.
You
very
probably
bad.
will.
Is this good like this?
I'm not even gonna say anything. You Gabor.
Oh no, not. Oh wait.
Just
They
do the
cannot see this part.
Just do the gabbering thing and.
Okay. Can this be seen? Okay, then my closing words are this. One of the blurred ones.
One of the blurred ones.
Okay. Love that you're with us, guys. Take care. Bye.
Peace out. Shit.